Hey guys, so today I want to share with you another Purple Heart and medal grouping that I got from a 9th Armored veteran. You guys know how much I love that unit, and I'm so close to my living veteran friends, and I enjoy collecting items from that unit. I'm real excited to share information about this hero with you, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you in, and let's get started. Alright, so as you see, I've got quite a bit of paperwork here, and these are the three medals here. Obviously, this one right here is a Purple Heart, and then we have a Bronze Star, and then this is an award by the city of Utica in New York, and it's dated 1946. And I'll show you the engravings on the back here. The name is Lawrence A. Smith, and the A stands for Allen. Lawrence Allen Smith. And then the Bronze Star, let me show you. The Bronze Star is also named to Lawrence A. Smith. So both of them are named to the same veteran. This third medal here does not have his name on it. I'll kind of talk about that here in a minute. And so I'll kind of go ahead and tell you how this came to be. And so I had the opportunity to purchase this medal grouping. And, you know, I had a little bit of information about the veteran. I had this right here kind of to go by. This is the man's gravestone, grave marker. It says in in memory of Sergeant L. Allen Smith. And then see, it just has 1915, 1945. No birthday, no death day. But it does say killed in action, dedicated by the men of the 3600th Quartermaster Truck Company, 9th Armored Division. And so, you guys know I like to do my research. And so, again, I wanted to find out when he was born and when he died, obviously stuff like that, and where he was from. And so, also, on Find a Grave, you see there's the picture of his grave marker, which I had blown up. But, see, it says he was either 29 or 30. Burial was Oswego County, New York. And that's pretty much all it is, right? So, okay, so I knew where he was buried, and more than likely that could have been where he was born and from, and his birth year and death year. And so you guys know I like to use different sites online, including, you know, Ancestry. And so based off of, you know, the name, again, I didn't know what L stood for, but again, the cemetery and the years, I was able to find out that the L stands for Lawrence, and the middle name was Allen, and then Smith. And you see, this man was from Oswego, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, New York. And then look, date of birth, January 22nd, 1915. And this is, you know, it's actually signed Allen Smith. And again, Allen is his middle name, Lawrence is the first name. And after researching this stuff, I found out that he actually went by his middle name. He didn't normally go by Lawrence. And so that would explain why his grave marker says L. Allen Smith and doesn't spell out the name Lawrence, because he went by his middle name. But again, Lawrence Allen Smith, and I found out, okay, he was born January 22nd of 1915. And he's from Oswego, New York. And again, that's where he's buried, right? Let me show you again. Burial, Riverside Cemetery, Oswego, New York. And like I said, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So now I found out, okay, I have his birthday. I'm curious about when he was killed, right? So I kept on researching this stuff. You know, here's another site I use, World War II U.S. Army Enlistment Records. There's his serial number, 326785540, and then you see residence, Oswego, New York. Enlistment date on this shows January 4th of 1943. Sometimes this website might be off by a day or two in the enlistment dates, but you see a birth year, 1915, place of enlistment, Syracuse, New York, and he was a fireman. That was one of his jobs before the war, was he was a fireman. It actually says locomotive fireman. So I kept researching and stuff like that, and found a little bit more about him right here. He registered on October 19th of 1940, and at that time he was 25 years old. Talks about his height and his weight and everything, and his hair color, eye color. This right here shows his birthplace, Oswego, New York. And you see this says January 23rd of 1915, but again, his registration was January 22nd, so it actually was January 22nd. And just a little bit of other information here about, birthplace. Says that he was single, so I don't think he was ever married. Even while after he joined the service, I believe he was a single man. And so again, I wanted to find out when was he killed? More information about that. There was this website right here that I used, and there he is, Lawrence A. Smith, Gold Star veteran from New York. And on the next page here, he's got his service number, which matches the other paper I showed you, Lawrence A. Smith, again, killed in action. His rank was a sergeant, and he was awarded, the Purple Heart. And so I kept looking and looking. I'm like, man, where can I find when he was killed? And so after a while, I got lucky, and I found this information from this Oswego Lodge, number 127. And you see it's dated December 25th of 1945. And I was looking through this, and right here there's an honor roll section, and it's got a section for each unit. Each branch of the military, like Army, Navy, Marines. And you see right here the red star, the single red star says killed in the line of duty, and the two red stars says killed in action. And so the very next page, which is this one right here, I start looking for the name, Lawrence A. Smith. And so I'm going down here, and towards the bottom of the Army section, it says Private Lawrence A. Smith. And see, there's those two red stars, or asterisk stars. And again, that matches this right here, which represents killed in action. And so I know it says private on here. That's just a mistake because, again, he was a sergeant at the time he was killed. And so I started getting excited. So I knew I was getting closer to finding out when he was killed. And so on the same website, there's another section right here that says in memoriam. And again, this is like a Masonic type lodge, from my understanding. And bro means brother, raised means when they joined the Masons, and then at rest is when they died. And so I was looking, and I found the name. It says Brother Lawrence A. Smith, raised November 14th of 1939. And again, raised means that's when he joined the Masons. So in 1939, he was 24 years old when he joined the lodge. And then right here it says at rest, April 14th of 1945. And again, at rest is when he died. And so that basically gives me the information I needed that he was killed April 14th of 1945. Now, one thing, I know that there's a chance he might have died of his wounds maybe the next day or a day or two later after he was killed. But from everything that I've seen and all the research I've come up with, I'm like 99% sure that he was killed on April 14th of 1945. And so that gives me a lot of information there. And, I wanted to find out some more about, how he was killed or maybe where he was. And so something I wanted to tell you guys, so the 3600th Quartermaster Truck Company, that unit was evidently not like an original 9th Armored unit. This unit was attached to the 9th Armored Division later in the war, like in 1945. From what I've seen, a little bit of information on them, I believe they were attached to the 9th Armored Division about maybe like 3 or 4 months, from like, I think around February of 45 to like June, July, or it might have been March of 45 to like June, July. So somewhere around 3 or 4 months they were attached and became, part of the 9th Armored Division. And so, again, the man, towards the end of his service, he would have been considered 9th Armored. And just a little bit of other information. So when he enlisted in 1943, he was just shy of his 28th birthday. And so, he would have been considered, an old man compared to, a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old guys, him being, 28 when he got in service. And so, I wanted to find out some more information about the unit because there's not really just a ton out there. But basically, they dealt with delivering supplies and gasoline and ammunition and food. They even transported prisoners of war and stuff. That's what that trucking company did, again, supplies and everything. And, you know, I'm still trying to find out circumstances of how he got or was awarded this Bronze Star. I don't know if it was the day he was killed or before that. You know, I'm still hoping I'll find more information as time goes on. But what I found out is, as far as around about where he was killed, so around April 14th of 1945, the 9th Armored Division were encircling the German city of Leipzig or Leipzig. Again, I might be butchering how you pronounce it. I believe it's Leipzig, Leipzig or Leipzig. And you know, his unit was around that area as well. So he was killed either in the surrounding area of that city or he was killed in that city in Germany. Again, Leipzig, if I'm not butchering it, that's the city or near area where he was killed. Again, don't know if he was shot, don't know if he got shrapnel wounds or what exactly happened to him. You know, a lot of times that information is just never found out. But I'm still hoping to be able to find more about his service. And I'm going to keep researching. You know, researching is a lot of the fun when we find items that are named or a laundry number, and we want to learn more about that soldier's service and life and everything. I'm thankful to be the caretaker, you know, of another set of medals of another hero of the war. And, you know, he was actually 30 years old at the time of his death. And so, you know, that's still young. You know, I'm 39. I couldn't imagine being 30 years old. But again, compared to a lot of the other guys, he was considered an older man, being, you know, 30 compared to, again, 18, 19-year-olds. But again, I don't see where he was ever married or anything. There's a possibility he may have had a child, a dependent. I'm still kind of researching that. But the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is this medal right here. And it says Seal of the City of Utica. Sorry, the camera's kind of shaking there. And then it says presented by the City of Utica, August 14th of 1946. And so the person that I got these from said that they saw his name listed on like a roster or an honor roll of some kind listed so that he could be a recipient of this medal. And so, again, it's not named to him, but the person said that it was his. They actually, I should backstory real quick. The person I got this from actually is from Oswego, New York. That's where they lived and were born, and that's where this guy was born and where he's buried. And it actually came evidently from an antique store that this man went in and was digging through some military stuff and found these medals in that city. So this right here is definitely 100% the veteran from New York. I know there's other people with the same name, but this is definitely his medals and everything. And I'm just thankful again to be the caretaker. But anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. I'm super excited to have another piece of history. You know, I'm very humbled and honored to own it and be the caretaker. But I hope to add more of these in the future. Thank you guys for all your support. I appreciate everything. God bless you. And I'll be getting back to you soon. So thank you.